Hi, I'm Hilda. Welcome to my kitchen. Luna and I are gonna make pizza today. This is just a quick pizza, so you don't have a very long ferment with the dough, but you can let it go for quite a bit longer if you want to. So let me show you how to make the dough. The pizza we're gonna make today is my favorite pasta converted into a great pizza. And it's really like the best garlic bread you've ever had / pizza. So the pizza that I'm gonna make today is called Aglio e Olio, which in Italian means garlic and oil. We're gonna use some great olive oil, and these are the toppings. So we're gonna use some great olive oil. I just got some wild groves from this year's harvest, and Foxy is a really great, robust, lots of bitterness, lots of pungency. We'll do a tasting in another episode, but it's a great olive oil. So a little bit of mozzarella, some slices of garlic, some Parmigiano Reggiano, and a few seasonings. But we'll get started with the dough. So I'm using 00 flour, which is very fine and typically used for pasta and also for pizza. If you have all-purpose flour, that's just fine. You can use that, or bread flour would work fine. So we're gonna start with some warm water. It's just gonna be warm to the touch or room temperature. It doesn't have to be hot. And this is a cup and a half of just clear filtered water, which I have right in my fridge. We're gonna use, whoops, Butterfingers. We're gonna use a tablespoon, about a tablespoon of good honey. And we're gonna do a teaspoon and a half of yeast. I will leave the recipe link in the description below. And you can get it with pictures on the website. So it's just a teaspoon and a half of yeast. And we're gonna start with 3 cups of flour. It might need a little more, depending on altitude and how humid it is in your kitchen. You may need a little bit more. So this is 3 cups of flour, and I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let the machine go for a bit and wait a few seconds or a few minutes while it's mixing. Then I'll add the salt, because yeast doesn't like salt. So we're just gonna turn on the machine. So if you see, I'm using the dough hook and the KitchenAid mixer. If you don't have a KitchenAid mixer or any mixer, you can easily do this by hand. Okay, this is exactly 3 cups, and it seems to work out perfectly. Oh. I'm gonna just take a good squeeze of sea salt to add. Okay. You can let it mix a lot longer. It's pretty soft. Okay. So this is a soft dough, and you want that. A little scraper. Okay. And I also like to you don't need too much flour, but it is absolutely a soft. I'm trying to pick up all this. Okay. And you just want to gather it. It's a really nice dough. And if you let it go for a minute or two, it'll get even softer and nicer. So, this is a quick pizza dough. The pizzaiolos who make pizza for a living, they let this sit and ferment for a good 24, 48, or even 72 hours. And that's where you get that chew, that really good pizzeria type chew. But this is, like I said, it's a fast pizza. That's pretty much your dough. It's ready. I'm gonna put it in this bowl and I'm gonna cover it and leave it for a good hour. I happen to have one already done that I've had sitting. If you want to let it go for 72 hours or 48 hours, what you would do is you would cover it at the stage that we were at over there, cover it and put it in your fridge, and it can last covered, no problem. So this is after an hour. It's pretty gassy, which is pretty nice. You want to get all of it out. All right. It's got lots of big bubbles in it, which is great. And I like to get every bit of it. Ooh, it's very nice. I'm going to get my other scraper. Okay, I'm going to make this into 2 pizzas. Yeah, it'll make 2 quite nicely. Okay, a little bit more flour. And I am not an expert pizza maker, but you can see that this is a really nice wet dough, and that's perfectly fine. We're not gonna deflate it entirely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the pizza, and then I'm going to let it sit and have another rise while we turn on the oven. Okay. If you don't want to do this, you can certainly use a rolling pin, a wine bottle, whatever you like. But I'm just going to use a little bit of gravity. You can pull it with the bottom of your hands. But I'm trying not to entirely deflate it, which is why I don't want to use, there we go. I don't really want to use a rolling pin. Fun! Pizza! Luna likes pizza. Okay, so it's not perfect by any means. It's a big mess, but it's pretty good. All right, so I'm going to put this on a piece of parchment, which is going to let me slide it onto my pizza stone. Another thing, if you have a pizza stone, use it. It makes the bottom of the crust really nice and like brown and crunchy. And if you don't have a pizza stone, I would encourage you, if you think you would be making any pizza, buy a pizza stone. It's like 15 bucks, 20 bucks. It's really an investment and makes a huge, huge difference. But you can see it's a pretty decent sized pizza. Okay. So I'm just going to flop this. And if it's not stretching or if it's just pulling back, you just leave it for a few minutes and you can do it again. But for the most part, it's pretty easy to handle. It's pretty nice dough. And I'm going to leave it again. I'm making this almost square because my stone is more of a rectangle shape. And if you don't have a pizza stone, another great tip is take a cookie sheet, flip it over on its back, and let it heat in the oven for a good half an hour till it's blazing hot, and then just take this and stick it on the bottom of this cookie sheet, which will also prove very good. Okay, so there is my pizza dough. I'm gonna let this stay the way it is for the time that it takes to heat up the oven. The oven's gonna be at 475 to 500. Whatever is the hottest setting on your oven is what we're gonna set it for. Be back. Okay, so my noisy oven is on, full blast, 500 degrees. The pizza stone has been heating for a good half hour, and we've rolled out our dough into two rectangular-ish pizzas slash kind of focaccia, great garlic bread. So what we're gonna do is we're going to top them, throw them in the oven, and eat them, because everybody loves pizza. I love pizza. Anyways, I'm gonna use this great Foxy olive oil. Wait till you see the color, it's crazy. So I'm gonna be very liberal, but this is a robust olive oil, which I love. And I'm just gonna try and... Normally, I would just stick my hand all over it. But I'm trying to be civilized. Paint it. Oh, who am I kidding? Who are you kidding? You're not civilized. You're a crazy lady. Okay. Now, I'm going to take some slices of garlic. I just thinly slice them. You can use a mandolin, but that's way too much to clean in my world. And as much or as little as you like. I happen to like these slivers of garlic. And I'll show you how I did it. Assuming I don't crush my hand. All right. So you just take a clove of garlic and you're going to, as thin as possible, slice them. When you get to the edge, if you don't want to, just chop it up. Okay? If you want to use a mandolin, go ahead and use a mandolin. But I just sliced them with a good sharp oven. I just sliced this with a sharp knife. I'm going to use a little bit of chili flake. A little bit of dry oregano. You can use Italian seasoning if you like. I'm using some good Parmigiano Reggiano. As much or as little as you like. and a little bit of salt. And I just have sea salt that I crush in my fingers. And this is optional. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but I'm just have a ball of mozzarella, and I'm just gonna add some pieces because I like to have a bit of cheese on my pizza. You can grate it if you want to. I'm just going to do it that way. And if you want more Parmesan to end, you just do that. And the final is a bit of pepper. There she goes. The other cool thing that you can do is you can add, you know, something simple like an artichoke green olive spread. You can add some of that to this existing pizza. You can make your own with just a spread. Say you have a sun-dried tomato spread. You can do all kinds of toppings. But for this purpose, this particular recipe, we're gonna use these toppings, the cheese, the garlic, the salt, pepper, hot peppers, and then once it comes out of the oven, I'm gonna do a little chopped basil on top. So we're gonna put this in. I just have a little pizza peel. If you don't have a pizza peel, you can use a cookie sheet, just slide it under, slide it right onto the peel. You can use it as a peel or the back of a cookie sheet. And we'll just do this second one the same. Zoom in. Take a picture. Okay, so look at this pizza. It's got a nice crust. It's nicely done. It's got a bit of brown around it, and it still has some puffiness. That's why you want a wet dough. Not bad. It's not a pizzaiolo pizza, but it is a pretty decent home kitchen pizza. You can see, even after 1 hour, you have a bit of gas, a little bit of bubble, a little fermentation. If you left this crust for 24, 48 hours, it'd be even better. But it still has some, bubbles, and it's still gonna be great if you don't have the time. You can cut it with like really, pretty good. Zoom in. Make this pizza, it's simple. If you have never made pizza dough before, you saw it took a minute to make in the KitchenAid mixer. If you do it by hand, it might take you 2 or 3 minutes. And it really takes an hour to let it come to a decent rise. If you do, you're gonna get some pretty good fermentation. You're gonna get a pretty nice crust. It's not ideal if you can leave it to go for 24 or 48 hours. So if I want to cook pizza on Sunday, I'm gonna start the dough on Friday night and I'm gonna leave it all on the weekend until Sunday. then I'm gonna make it. It's gonna have a really good chew. But really, you see in 1 hour, you can make a quick pizza that's pretty decent if you have a pizza stone at home and a few good ingredients. I do wanna say, invest in good olive oil because this is a condiment in this particular situation. This is an ingredient. It is not just a fat. And this is a pretty glorious oil. The Foxy is a very robust oil. And I really want to thank Dewey Lucero and Wild Groves because I really love their products. Year after year, he consistently puts out great ingredients and great products. This is an artichoke green olive spread. And it's going to be on the pizza that we're going to take out in a minute. But he does a great job. So I really want to thank Dewey Lucero for producing great products year after year. Invest in some good olive oil and buy from someone who's passionate about producing olive oil. There's great producers, there's great olive oil in California, in Texas, in Oregon, in Spain, in Italy, and there are people who care a great deal about making great products, so don't think all of it is fraud. It's not. And also don't think that Costco, Kirkland brand, extra virgin olive oil is the greatest oil in the world. It's okay. I don't discount that. It's okay. But there are some glorious oils out there, and I urge you to try them. So we're going to go through in this series and try different oils on a yearly basis, and we're going to taste, and I'll show you how to taste oil. A lot of people have never actually put olive oil in their mouth, and they think they can't taste the difference, and I'll show you you can. This is our little pizza with the additional toppings of the artichoke green olive spread. And you just finish with a bit of fresh basil. It's glorious. Let's try this one too and see how the crust is looking. It's pretty good, right? It's got a decent crust on it. It's got nice bubbles. And this is just after an hour, so it's pretty cool. Normally I wouldn't cut it immediately, but I just want to show you, right? It's hot. Hot, baby, it's hot. Woo. See? It's got a decent bottom to it. No soggy bottom. It's got a nice crisp bottom. Come on, you can do this. Look at it. Hot as. All right, let's try some of this bad boy. Garlic, olive oil, basil, Parmigiano Reggiano, a little mozzarella. It's not to like. It's salty. It's really like the best garlic bread you've ever had in your life. I'm not kidding you. Halt. It's really like the best garlic bread you've ever had. It's got a great little crumb to the crust. It's amazing. I'm gonna try this other one with the artichoke spread on it. I need a bite that has the artichoke. It's hot too. Oh my God. Seriously, look at that. You have got to make this. It's glorious. Look at it. Thank you for joining me. I really hope you buy some great olive oil. This Foxy by Wild Groves is heavenly. It's wow. It's really a great ingredient. And if you want to get an artichoke olive spread or like a tapenade, use it. It's got lemon in it. It's got a great combination with these flavors. Or just whatever your favorite topping is. Tomato sauce, pepperoni, it doesn't really matter. In an hour, you can make good crust. Holy, this is legit, really, really good. You have to try this. And before we go, I just want to say thank you. Please subscribe if you enjoy what we do, and tell me what you want me to make. I'm happy to cook whatever you want. And see you next time in my kitchen. And I'm gonna give a little Parmesan to my friend. Hi, Luna. Would you like some cheese? Sit, sit. Oh, good girl. Good job. Shake. Good job. Bye. Ta-da. Oh my God, taste this. Frickin' good. Frickin' good.